Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling day. Welcome to Porchlight Letters podcast number 2138. And our topic tonight is the space that follows. This is just a reflection on the week that we've just had talking about surrender. With the surrender series and everything else. The newsletter goes out tomorrow, recapping our week talking about surrender. But today I had some fun with the surrender stuff today. So we're going to be talking about that and what it means to surrender. So surrender doesn't always come with ceremony. Sometimes it looks like a carload of stuff headed to Goodwill. And that's exactly what we did today. We took our very first carload of stuff over to Goodwill. We came home and it's like, oh, where did it come from? Where's the space? The release of what's no longer useful, needed, or true. And at first, it doesn't look like anything's changed. We came home, we're sort of like, well, where did all that stuff come from? We took a carload over to Goodwill. Where did it come from? There's no space, but space is coming. What tonight is going to teach us is about surrender often starts in the physical realm, clearing out to make room. The early stages of letting go can feel invisible. Release doesn't have to be dramatic to be meaningful. Over time, small choices create visible change. And what happens when we don't begin? Clutter collects physically and emotionally. I can totally attest to that one. We stay surrounded by versions of ourselves we've already outgrown. Yep, done that. The energy stays stuck even if we don't want to change, even if we know we want to change. Yes, totally agree with that. We wait for the right time that never announces itself. Now, I've been fortunate that I don't wait for the right time. I just either do it or I don't do it. But definitely clutter collects physically and emotionally. When you've got stuff around and you keep bringing in more stuff into the space, yes, it is going to clutter up. And when things get cluttered, it clouds our judgment in a way that we are no longer creative. We're not as productive as we used to be. We kind of have that feeling of sort of like, yeah, what do I do now? Or you get frustrated because you really want to do this project over here, but you really don't have the drive to do it, even though you know that that project is something that you absolutely need to do because it's going to get you to your goal. But because of all the clutter around us, yeah, it just doesn't work. And I tend to collect things. So today we loaded up the car with a whole bunch of stuff to go to Goodwill, loaded up the trunk and drove over there and took it. It was very easy. You just drive around the back of this building. They've got this great big overhang area and this big portico area that you go in, and as soon as you pull up, the guys are at the back waiting beside your car with carts, with these cart containers, 4-side cart containers. And I just opened the trunk and I said everything in the trunk, and they just put it into one cart and took it all in. I'm surprised because it took me a while to pack my trunk, but they managed to get it all into. Actually, no, they got it into two carts, and then they gave me my little ticket to fill out the items afterwards so that I can use it for my tax thing, and so that's the first load that's gone over. The second load is almost ready. Yeah, I came home and I sort of looked at the second load and I was like, I could do a little more sorting and get that last load done and take it over there. But then I'm like thinking, yeah, there's one thing when I'm looking at it and I'm sort of like, okay, I've got that one this piece set to the side because there's two other bits that go with it that I need to find. And I kind of know where they are and what I'm going to have to do to get to them. And I was just like, yeah, I really don't feel like doing that. But I will tell you this, just removing that one trunk load from the house lifted the vibrations. It lifted the vibration because that was a load that had been released. And the energy has now sort of like, because I was going to come home and take a nap, got home as a feeling a little tired, I thought, I'll take a nap. Then once I got inside and I saw the next pile of stuff sitting there and I was sort of like, oh, should I do it? Should I not do it? I actually got energized and started doing other things that I felt needed to be done. So got the newsletter done, ready to go out tomorrow. It's all scheduled, ready to go. What else did we get done? Got the dishes done today. Got some cleaning done, some more sorting done. Not stuff that got added to the pile, unfortunately. But hey, it takes time. So when you practice in the space of surrender, let release be imperfect and in progress. Let me say it again. Let release be imperfect and in progress. Celebrate small movements. A carload, big deal. It is a big deal. There was a lot of stuff in there. I mean, here is my receipt. You can see I've handwritten in everything, and I'm looking at that list going, I don't think I even put everything on there that we had in the back of that car, but that's what's on the list, so that'll do for now. Next time I'll actually may write it. I don't know. Allow yourself to feel the peace before the result. Yeah. Trust the clarity of that clarity often arrives after the clutter is gone. I will tell you this, the energy levels raised when that just with one carload, and the fact that I have almost a second carload ready to go. So, and I got some stuff into the trash thing too, because it's just stuff that's so trashed. It's so old, so trashed. It's falling to pieces. It's never going to get sold or donated. They won't take it. The donation thing is never. I'm not going to sell it. So let's put it in the trash and get rid of it. Yes, so I even got 3 big boxes cleared out today. So that was pretty good. And know that space itself is an invitation. You're being invited into creating a space. So take that with you when you're looking through stuff. Think, I am inviting myself to create a space here by sorting through this stuff and getting rid of it, by decluttering. And what's quite interesting is I have a keep box in there that's still sitting at a quarter full. It's still sitting at a quarter full. But then I'm like looking at like one of the boxes I emptied today was basically pillowcases and some sheets. And so I thought, okay, I need to go through all these pillowcases. Do I need all of these pillowcases? Probably not. Do I have the sheets that go with these pillowcases? In some cases, yes. In some cases, no, because there was times that I just went and bought pillowcases that were traveling pillowcases that I would take with me to when I was staying at a hotel. So I always put my own pillowcase on their pillows and things. I just do crazy stuff like that. Don't ask me why. I just do it. Just want to feel at home. And then when the legacy connection, by surrendering what no longer serves, we model what it means to travel light, emotionally, spiritually, and even physically. I am trying to get as light as I can to go down to New Zealand. But when you've got a lot of books and DVDs, yeah, that's a little bit of a problem with that. But we will get there, because I am unloading a whole bunch of other stuff, which is even heavier than my books, believe it or not. I've got stereo equipment that I'm putting up, basically home theater equipment, the receiver, the speakers, 2 sets of speakers with woofers. I've got, what else have we got in there? The Blu-ray player. I've got a DVD player. I just got a whole bunch of electronic stuff that needs to go. And make sure it goes. And then I've got all the tools out. And I was looking at the tools the other day in the garage, and I thought, yeah. So I've started taking out, because I have collected these cases of pieces that have got socket sets in them, screwdriver sets in them, and the socket sets are all imperial, not metric, so I can't take them with me, because 99.9% of the stuff in New Zealand is metric. There is the odd imperial stuff that's come there that's sort of snuck in with people. The ice cream guy's about to go past. I have to tell you a funny story about the ice cream guy. He has this most annoying tune that plays. And he's on my side of the road today. And he has the most annoying tune that plays. In New Zealand, when Mr. Whippy comes around, it's Greensleeves. I love Greensleeves. But I don't know what tune he's playing, but it sounded horrible. He had this vibration going on in his speakers, the scratchy thing, and it just sounded terrible. And then one day I was sort of like, oh, he's got a new tune. And as I'm listening to it, I realized he doesn't have a new tune. He's got new speakers. So that's the story about the ice cream guy that just drove past the house. Anyway, so by surrendering what no longer serves, we model what it means to travel light emotionally, spiritually, and even physically. Yes, and I'm sitting in my recliner just before I'd started reading this one from yesterday's books that I got, the Brady's and the Chinese Idol, or The Clue Found in Pew Street by the New York Detective. That one's from 1908. This one's from. So that was one of the books that I got yesterday, and that's one I started reading. So I'm sitting in the recliner, then I'm like thinking, I really do like this recliner. I'm sort of like, do I sell it? Do I not sell it? But I really, really, really do like my recliner, and I do like when I get to sit in it. And Zeffie will, if I'm sitting in the recliner and she comes into the room, she just sits there and just looks at me, as I say, that's mine. So she's currently out laying on the tile at the moment. But anyway, so by surrendering what no longer serves, we model what it means to travel light emotionally, spiritually, and even physically. We teach that letting go is an act of trust. Letting go is an act of trust. And that what matters most will stay, grow, and root more deeply in the space we make for it. And our reflection questions tonight, which you will find in the description below, and you can then put on the Porchlight note pages inside the Porchlight Reflection Journal, which you can purchase by scanning this QR code up here in the left-hand corner. The questions for you tonight are, what is quietly taking up space in my life that I'm ready to release? Where have I made space but not yet noticed the change? What would it feel like to trust that space is the start of something good? Like that. And I honestly think the fact that there's times that I go to sort something and I'm sort of like, I really don't feel like sorting something, that to me that it's a block. There's a block preventing me from doing what I need to do to get to New Zealand. And so I'm sort of like being very conscious of that. And then, of course, the challenges come up with Zeffie, with the health challenges and things. And I'm like, oh, okay, so we've got to stay a little longer. But I'm fighting the block and I'm sort of like, no, I need to get home to New Zealand. I need to be there. So I want to get there as soon as possible. And I want to get Zeffie well enough to get down there with us as well and have a great life down there with me. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's just playing around in my head and going through worst case scenarios, best case scenarios, trying to get on the best case scenario wagon and trying to say, we're setting this, we're going for it. But at the same time, as we've talked about the surrender, letting loose, letting the grip, not hanging on so tightly, being willing to release the tight grip that we have as well. So in our closing thoughts, you might not see the space right away, which I totally agree with, because I took a trunk load of stuff out of and all of that stuff came from the master bedroom as well, that went into the car today. And because I'm sorting through everything in the master bedroom. So I've got the second load almost ready to go in the master bedroom. In fact, I could probably take it over tonight because I don't close till 9 o'clock this evening. So I could do a second run if I wanted to. In fact, if I wanted to, I just might. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can find other stuff to put in there. Anyway, we came home. I went into the master bedroom, and the stuff that I had from where I had removed the first load of stuff that went into the car, I had filled those spaces with what I'm taking in the second load. Yes, I know, crazy thing to do. So of course, when I look around, I'm sort of like, well, where did all that stuff come from? And this is the stuff to go. And where did it come from? You might not see the space right away, but it's coming, and it will make room for what's next. And that's the most exciting thing. I'm sort of like, rather than just doing a little bit here and a little bit there, I'm going to concentrate on one area and just get it done, and then go to the next area and get it done. And that's basically what I am doing by following the plan that with ChatGPT, I got in there one day and I says, okay, you are a professional organizer who specializes in international moves. What did I start putting there? Specializes in international moves. Here are the photos of what we need to sort through. The date the movers are coming in is July 14th. It's just penciled in at the moment. It's not a definite date, so don't go getting excited. It's not a definite date. It's just penciled in. And we need to get through all of this stuff and get it organized for when the movers come in. It drew me a week-by-week plan, which will have me done with everything by July 1st. I'm just like, yes. And basically, it's going through room by room by room each week, spinning. So I'm just sort of like, okay, I can handle this. I can do this. And as I go along and find things to sell, they go into, I've got an area cleared in my family room. I actually ended up moving because my couch sat almost on the back wall, didn't have a lot of space behind. You could walk behind it, but that was about it. And I've got this little 42-inch, I think it is, TV sitting way across, 13 feet away. And if you know anything about watching TV, you take the diagonal, which is where you get your 42 inches, 36 inch and all that from, and double that. And that's how far you should be sitting away from the TV. So I've ended up moving the couch to like the middle of the room and now that space behind where the couch was, it's actually a lot cozier and a lot nicer. And it's really good to be able to sit there at the TV and not have to squint from 13 feet away to go, what the heck does that say? When they show you like a note or a thing on the screen, what I had to do was put it on pause, walk up to the TV, read it, go back, sit down and play. Now I don't have to do that. So I'm using that space behind to hold stuff that I'm getting ready to sell. And I have a way of, it comes into the room, it gets photographed, it gets put down over there, or if we've got the remote and the instruction manual, it gets added to it. And I was very proud of myself the other day because I have a receiver and I got the remote for it, and I haven't found the instruction manual yet. We never threw out any instruction manuals. So I haven't found the instruction manual yet, but I suddenly realized, that receiver has a calibration microphone, and it's this little round disc with a wire that comes out of it that plugs. It's got this, like a 20-foot cord on it or something. I don't know, but it plugs into the front of the receiver, and you play whatever you're playing, and you sit with the microphone where you would mainly sit to watch a movie or anything like that, and it balances all the speakers. And it's really cool to watch it because the guy, when he was doing this, installing it in our place in Virginia, he sat on the couch, and then he had me come and sit next to him because he was almost Brad's height. He was like 6'3". And of course I'm 5'2". So we would be sitting on the couch. So he put it sort of like halfway between where his ear was and where my ear was and held it there. And this sound is like pinging around. He's got different sounds and tones that would ping around the different speakers and stuff, put it on and this was all part of the calibration thing. Then it would have these, it's just these different tones and things going around and finally balancing. And so then we had to do the test. And Brad's sort of like, Helen, and the guy says, okay, that's all calibrated. He says, do you have a movie you want to watch? And he goes, Helen, go put it on. We always, whenever we were playing around with speakers and stuff, we always put the opening scene of Top Gun on, where you've got that fantastic musical introduction at the beginning there with them on the flight deck. You've got the planes getting ready. They're revving up. They're taking off down the aircraft carrier runway and up into the air and all that sort of. So if you know the original Top Gun, you know that opening scene piece. We always did that. And one of the guys who had helped install the stuff, he's busy looking through our CD collection. He goes, oh, you've got and the guys were sort of like, this sounds so cool. They were just like amazed about how cool that sounded in our theater room. And so we watched that, and then one of the guys, he's looking at our thing, he goes, oh, you have Mr. and Mrs. Smith. We went, yeah. He says, can you put on the shoot up scene? I said, which one? He goes, when they shoot up the house. I went, absolutely. So we put that on, and this was another test for the calibration on the speakers, and the guys were just blown away. They were, and the other guy's looking at, and this guy's like sitting there watching Mr. and Mrs. Smith with this shoot up scene. And it's when the husband and wife are trying to kill each other and totally destroying the house in the meantime with all these bullets and pulling out hidden compartments for guns and all this, because they suddenly realized that each other's a spy and they're meant to kill each other or something. Been a while since I've seen the movie, but and the other one starts looking, he says, we've got to get going. He says, you've got some really good movies here that we could sit here all day and do sound tests on them, just to hear the speakers. But he says, but this is an awesome setup, because the walls that we had in the movie theater had it was a 2¼ inch thick insulation padding where it had a cloth fabric over the top. You put that up, it was 99%. It was 90% sound absorbing. So it gave you some really cool sounds once everything was all balanced and all that. And so the guys went upstairs and packed up all their gear and left. We went downstairs, vacuumed everything, and then we went and got some takeout and came home and sat down in our movie theater and watched a couple of movies that night. It was a cool thing. So so I found the calibration microphone. So anyway, what did I say? Oh, how did I get onto that? Oh yeah, you might not see the space right away, but it's coming, and it will make room for what's coming. It will make room for what's next. And with that, we are out of here. We will be back tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Pacific time, because I've got a vet visit and my training class on tomorrow night. So we'll be back around 7 p.m. tomorrow night. So go out and have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we're going to be starting a series tomorrow called Redirection. Yes. The Redirection series. And we've got some interesting topics coming up on that. So with that, we are out of here. We'll catch you guys tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Pacific. Hei konera.